Hello, I'm James McFarland, and I am seeking 100K for the Zot app. I am a product manager at MacTech, where we produce educational products, such as the Zot app. Now, the primary purpose of this app is to expose students to the engineering field via gameplay, or basically a gaming tutorial style app. The need for this app, like I said before, it was expose all kids or students to the field of engineering. It also increases and holds student interest in engineering from grade school all the way up through high school. And it also increases math and science literacy. Now, the product features are the interactive gameplay. Um, and it's a tutorial style and it's user friendly. So the main purpose of this app is to use persuasive technology in order to um, get the kids interested in gaining their interest without them even paying attention, more from a fun kind of mindset. Okay. Also, it helps students with engineering fundamentals, and the way the app is been planned is to help increase the math amplitude and science amplitude of students as well. Now, with the uses of persuasive technology, students will be able to learn without them even knowing. Now, being that we are in a digital age, this is a great way to take advantage of learning. The application will be on a desktop application as well as a mobile application, and we'll get into that later. Okay, so our primary competitors are Play and Learn Engineering, um, and it's an app too as well. It's through PBS. Now, the advantage is that it is a early starter with kids in learning just the basic fundamentals of engineering, um, and that's one of the strengths that it has. It opens their mind to all of the different types of disciplines, but it is not complex enough to go in depth with it. Now, the next competitor is Physics and Electronics app. It's a very difficult app, and it's kind of sectioned off to a particular discipline, which is it's more physics based and more electronic based. So we're looking at more of like projectile motions and more of circuit analysis coming from that standpoint. Now, Engineering Tomorrow is also a competitor. Now, their advantages and strengths are when they actually are building cities. So this is coming from more from a construction or architectural or structural type of engineering, but it's very user friendly, but it's more geared towards K through 12 or higher ed. Okay. All right. Now, when we look at our market segments, the primary places that we're appealing to is school districts. So the way this app will be implemented, it will be through school systems or educational systems. So our primary target is school districts. Now, being that this increases the um, math scores and science scores, we have a whole training module to implement into a set classes for a school year, so you can actually track the measurable growth from quarter to quarter or semester to semester, um, depending on how the school district will want to implement it. So there is training for teachers in all those districts and educational stakeholders as well. Um, so the cost, now say for instance they just want to get it on their own from an app store just to play the games itself. You can get it from the App Store, Google Play, or also the Apple App Store as well for $4.99. Now, if you want to have a district workshop to where you can kind of bundle or compartmentalize all of this into one and shop it around to maybe some CTE directors or maybe some principals or just trying to get it implemented in school systems, we can do a workshop where we with the software on how to actually use the software, how to implement the applications within the classrooms, also training the teachers on how to implement this and help them with curriculum that coincides um, with this software, and also provide continuous support throughout the school year for teachers and for um, any educational districts that um, will want to put this into motion. Okay, so the teams, I am the project manager. Also, we will work with subject matter experts, which would basically be your curriculum specialist that will kind of tailor all of this engineering fundamentals. You would have a software engineer, the person who will work out the kinks, or IT that will work out the kinks for the application if any troubleshooting is needed, and also the stakeholders, because we have to have people who will want this product. So they that will continuously change um, as this kind of goes along as well. Now, as we look at our Gantt chart, now this is piloted for a year. If you can follow along, so we have our start date here, obtaining our hardware and our software, the creation of our application. Then we have our application training session throughout the summer, and for teachers how to actually implement this. Then we have our student introduction. That's when we actually introduce it to students and show them how to use the app, which the teachers would show them how to use the app. Then we will begin the first 9 weeks. That will be the first phase, and that would be from August to October, and that would just be a start. Um, that would just be a start for the students, just to see how everything will go. So now, at the beginning of the semester, we will measure their math scores and their science scores before we actually use the app. Okay. And then once we do that, then we go through and use the app for a semester, incorporating it into into math and science modules, and how they would correlate to with Common Core standards too as well. Then we would progressively go through 4 9 weeks. At the end of each 9 weeks, we do a math and science test, aptitude test, to see the measurable growth from week to week. I mean, well, from some quarter to quarter, all the way down until we get to the end, and then we can kind of measure our data. Depending on the school system, whether the students go for an entire year or whether they go for a semester, we'll be able to track the growth and prepare a report so where we can see some of those different things. All right, now as we look at the budget, it's kind of self-explanatory. We have to buy the software for the apps. We'll have basically the trainer will have a MacBook Pro to keep all that information together. The iPads is actually to train the teachers, and the actual training itself. And this is where we will make our money. From district to district, we can make 2,500 per training session. And that's per school district, depending on the amount of teachers. So as you can see, it for each training sessions, it would be only 25 teachers. So that's basically $100 a teacher per training session. Now, if a school district want to hold multiple training sessions, um, then then we can do that too as well. Um, so the app creation would cost $2,500. Now salaries for the trainers and um, some of our software tech guys, or it is just a variant. So this application will only need to be built one time. So we will probably contract someone to actually build the app. And once we contract that person to build the app, we'll have somebody there for IT for continued support to make sure the app is running properly. Let's see. Now closing. Now I am seeking 100,000 as an investment because I think this has a potential to have exponential growth within the education sector. Being that it is a very innovative app and it could um, increase the student interest in engineering, and also increase their amplitudes in math and science too as well. Um, One of the problems I had growing up, well, it really wasn't a problem. I was never exposed to. I come from a small country town in South Carolina, so I never was exposed to engineering until I was maybe a junior or senior in high school. Now, what I see the need for is to expose kids to the field of engineering at a very young age so they can grasp and grow within the field all the way throughout middle school. Okay. Um, and I think that is